I just installed this swing arm for my bike rack right here, so y'all stay with me. I'll tell you all about it. You know, it's funny how they classify this as a two-car garage. I mean, I guess you could if you had two little Mini Coopers or some Yugos, you might say. There's just no way I can even fit this truck in here. Even when I had this complete garage emptied out, the truck wouldn't even fit in here. The garage door wouldn't even close. So what I've noticed in these complexes, or whatever you want to call them, communities, is when they design and build these places, they don't have in mind people that actually drive real vehicles. So what do? I mean, that's the problem with living in the country your whole life and have to come fight for parking places. It's just, I truly do not like this situation, but it's where I'm at right now, so I'm trying to make the best of it. You know, our plan today was to go hike a little trail called Mallory Cave. It's up in the Flatirons, 6 miles, and you scramble up the last quarter mile to actually get to the cave itself. And I've been looking forward to it all week, but yet we had a front come in last night and it rained all night long, and we're supposed to have some more rain coming in around noon today. So the main issue I'm having right now is trying to find that willingness and dedication to hiking enough to where I want to go out and waller in the mud and take all my rain gear with me and backpack covers and all that. I just don't have it. So maybe 20 years ago. So instead I decided to fit this little mechanism right here. It's actually a swing out arm that goes on from my bike rack. And I have the bike rack and I have this long 24-inch extension right here, and it works out real good because when my camper sits on here, it sits out a little bit over my tailgate, and this 24-inch extension pushes my bike rack out far enough to where I can get to my bikes and have my camper on. The biggest issue is well, this right here. Let me show you how I put it on. As you can see right here, it's a real pain to actually get on when the camper's on here. And when we get to the campsite, I have to crawl underneath and unbolt these little stabilizer brackets and anti-vibration brackets, whatever they want to call them. And then I have to pull the whole thing out, drop it, and then stick it up underneath there, and then reverse that whenever we pack up when we leave on Sunday. So for my birthday this year, I decided I wanted one of these swing arms so I don't have to keep crawling underneath the truck, you know, especially when it's wet or something like that. And this is just going to make it a lot easier. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this 24-inch off and we're going to see how this thing's going to fit, if it even fits. Even though this 24-inch extension works great for what we used it for, with this little swing arm right here, it's going to push it way too far out. So I had to get a smaller extension, which is right here. What I got to test today, even though I don't have my camper on here, I got to test, and when it swings out, I got to make sure it doesn't hit this side of the camper. So yesterday I went and took some measurements of what the camper is, and we're going to do a simulation here. So I dropped down from that 24 to this little 8-inch. With all measurements, it should fit. Oh good, it came with another one of these. I thought there was some assembly required, but doesn't look like it. Oh good, it came with a little locking mechanism so no one steals my hitch. Yeah, this will work out real good. I'm gonna take some measurements, see if this thing's even gonna work. You know, it's just a chance you take when you buy anything off Amazon, like shoes or clothes or stuff like this. You just don't know if it's gonna fit right. And especially something that costs $365. You know, you really wanna make sure, but there's really no way to know until you just get one. And then suffer the consequences from there. I guess we can always send it back. All right, first off, we're gonna put this little extension on. I'm not gonna worry about putting these little things on yet, just because I'm not gonna be going anywhere. I just want to see if this all fits first. Then we're gonna put our swing arm on. This has got one of those screw-in bolts. I don't know if I like or not, but it doesn't matter, right? We ain't even going to tighten it down yet. Then I'm going to add my bike rack. That looks sketchy, doesn't it? Well, I mean, what do you do? Yeah, I don't know about them little things on the inside of there. So the idea is all this just took place with this 24-inch extension here. It looks like it's going to stick out just a little bit further. Not too bad. Now, of course, I haven't read the directions on this, so I don't know exactly how this works. Now, I know once I put all them little clamps and stuff on that, it should sturdy all this up really good where it doesn't wobble. That's my hope, at least. Yeah, that might work out just fine. All right. Now we have to do pretend mode, you might say. So right off the bat, I'm looking at a potential problem. Here, let me show you. What I'm worried about is when the camper's on here, let's just pretend. Being able to get this, pull this up enough. Yeah, I think that'll clear. I mean, the camper's way up here. So that works. So I measured the camper, and of course it sticks over a little bit right here. And then I have a sewer outlet that comes out about right here in this area. So it was 119 inches from the bumpers all the way out to the end of the sewer outlet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this board and we're going to simulate where this camper is going to sit in the very edge of it. So that sewer pipe is going to sit all the way to the end of this board right here, about right there in that area. Now the biggest thing when I swing this, is it going to clear it or is it going to hit? So if I have my bike right here, okay, it looks like it's going to clear the sewer no problem because the bike's actually going to sit right here. Now on the edge of the camper, 110 inches. We're going to give it 111, 112. So yeah, I don't see a problem whatsoever in this swing. Directions are good sometimes. I guess this little, there we go. I guess that keeps it from folding back in the middle of the night. I think once I put all these things on here, yeah, I'll need one here, here, and then this one goes here. That's going to really stabilize it to where it doesn't waller around when I'm riding. So if my board is where my camper is, you can see I'm still going to have to get underneath there and pop this lever up and pull this safety pin in order for it to swing out. But you know, that's still 10 times easier than having to go in and unbolt every one of these things and then pull the thing out, lay it on the ground, shove it back underneath. I can actually leave my bikes on here when I swing this thing out like that. That was a little costly to get. But I think in the long run, it's going to save me a lot of time, let's put it that way, and a lot of headache, especially when I have the camper on. Now, normally, I'll just throw the bikes in the back of the truck whenever we go bike riding, but when I have the camper on, this is really going to speed up the process. And what I liked about it the most, no assembly required. I was able just to unbox the thing, put it right on, and it goes. Now, there has been some bad reviews on these. They're saying that the little pin breaks or this, that, and the other, but you know, you're never going to have 100% good reviews on anything that you buy. So it's a lot of like a gamble or something. But I know this bike rack here, this is a really cool bike rack. I really like it. And I think we got it last year and we've used the crap out of it. And it works out real good as long as you put all them little stabilizers where it doesn't waller around. And of course, I always strap my bikes down a little bit more because I just don't trust these little plastic straps. I'm not a big fan of plastic and holding that much money on, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be running this around. Yeah, I'll back right up into something. Plus my backup beepers will be going off the whole time. The only thing I wish this had was like a little ramp that you can run your bikes up on, but I ain't that old yet. I can still pick these little bikes up as long as the batteries are not on them. They're not all that heavy. So I think this one's rated for 250 pounds. Yeah, I think it's gonna work out real good. So with camping season right around the corner and a nasty rainy day today, gave me a great opportunity to get this thing put on and see if it's even gonna work. And I'm pleasantly surprised that it's gonna work, because normally I have to do this 3 or 4 times before I can get things to work. You know, kind of like doing a plumbing job. You got to go back to the hardware store at least 4 times, because no matter how many parts you buy, you didn't buy the right one. But in the end, I'm still gonna have to crawl underneath it because I have to pump up my airbags right here. I can do it before I put the camper on, and that's great and everything, but you know, if it sits with the camper on it too long, then they start to leak down just a little, like in a couple of weeks, so they'll leak down about 5 pounds, so I'll have to crawl underneath there and repump those up. And that's really not a big deal. It's just trying to eliminate the headaches to make it more fun and more enjoyable when we go out. Well, I'm gonna start taking this stuff back apart. I mean, like camping seasons, I think our first camping trip is next month, so you are to hang with us. We're going to be using this for the very first time. We're going down to the great sand dunes down here in Colorado. It's supposed to be amazing. I'm going to slide around on my little sled, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. They say that snow sleds and sand sleds are completely two different things, but I guess I'm going to find out the hard way, one way or the other. But I appreciate you hanging around, especially on a day like today. I'm not getting out doing anything, especially with them new shoes, man. I don't want to get them muddy. Not yet. They will, but not yet. I still got to get them broke in. So always remember, leave it better than you found it. So if I don't see you on the trail, and it won't be today, I'll see you down the road. Have a good one.